ACT.
Yeah.
I'm about to start.
Okay. About this right now.
Hey, do you? Do what you gotta do, okay? You just have to be prepared to suffer the consequences of whatever those actions are.
Yeah.
You know?
I was so surprised at how he was looking at me. I was talking to him. I was like, do you need to say something? Do you need help? Like, use real words. And he didn't. And then so Melanie started rubbing his head. And I was like, do you have hand sanitizer? And she was like, I don't. And I'm like, oh my God, what are we doing? And then
I think she's about to sneak me. So she calls my dad, and my dad comes in. He got his big cowboy hat on and everything. And I know he don't know how to read, so I ain't worried about him at all. So he sits next to me.
Now that we know it wasn't about us.
Use the hammer if he was using his gauntlet for evil. This just doesn't make you pure and worthy enough.
That's your phone, though.
So I don't know.
Johnny, you know, like the inner E was like, oh, I mean, they did. I mean, I don't know, ain't nothing to think about. I mean, they did. Like, that's what it is. So, I know, like the inner me, the inner me was like, oh, if I find out who it is, they did. Like, you know, in my mind, it's like, let me find out who you are. I will do all the research. I will find out all your social handles. I'll find out where you hang out. Where I get your police record.
I'm like, isn't there just a little bit of that in there?
I mean, of course, I found out what my car was. I found all the details that I could. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't for me to be like, I'm about to go get you, because I'm like, nah. Because like if I really, and it's funny because I was telling somebody today, like, I am such a nice person, almost 96% of the time. You got 3% of me going like, all right, cool, you know, but there's a 1% monster in here that becomes a 100% monster if you mess with him.
Is his name Chaos?
No.
Oh,
actually he is just the monster. Yeah, like he is just the monster. Like, oh my God. I don't want to deal with him because I don't care about anything when I turn into that 1%. It's like that 1% is just the id going crazy. Like, I don't care about that. I don't care about that. I don't care about that. If I got to punch you in the face, I'll punch you in the face. I don't care. I don't care if you're a woman. You said it. You get it. So like, it's just, that's why I got to stay away from that 1%. And I give people that little 3%, a little cushion before they get to that 1%. If you dealing with 96% Eric and he's nice and caring, and you got to deal with that 3% Eric where he got to be like, then you are pressing to the one where it's like,
like a segment. That feels like a whole new segment. Like either the segment it is called the 3%, that's probably the more acceptable one. Or Johnny, what if the segment was called the 1%? The inner me. Oh, that would be
right. I like that.
Can we have we can think about a small segment and said the inner me, like
the inner me. Well,
you need to put a disclaimer before that, like disclaimer, like you about to hear a level of truth and transparency like you've never heard before.
That might be the ladies and gentlemen, that might be the section of the show that we actually start cussing on. It's gonna be all in there, all in that little box. That little box is gonna be on there like, this is the truth, transparency, and tell it how it is section.
There we go.
That's the section I would tell my mama, click off right here, mama. Click off, mama, and then come back in about 3 minutes. Like,
yes, if you got sensitive ears, bye. Yeah. We about to go weak.
We would probably have to tell you in the chat, but let's be real clear. I don't give gifts that you give back.
Oh.
Sign the chocolate drop.
Like when I be thinking of like love songs, like in my mind, I don't know, like I be putting the wrong songs in.
Okay, like what?
like I'm thinking of songs like these are songs that I played when I was in the act. These are not songs that like, because like the rhythm of it would help like me to like, you know what I'm saying, keep like, you know what I'm saying? Like it depends. Like it depends on how I'm trying to, Like there be certain songs that you want to get off, like, but certain beats, that you want to be able to rock to. I don't want to tell them myself, because there be like might be people in the thing that all of a sudden be like, that's why he played that song. I don't even want to tell them myself. And like it was so weird how it was so rhythmic. Yes, because you practice to certain songs. Valentine's Day.
Now, one of the things I want to, because you touched on a couple of things. You said time, you said gifts, which makes me think about love language. I do think, depending on your person's love, if you know the love languages and their love language, I think that's very important when it comes to Valentine's Day, because that lets you know what they value. So some people, you might say, well, we spend time together. No, but I want that gift. What you didn't give me was that gift. And that's, I'm the gift person, or I'm the touch person. So I think that's important too, to keep in mind, is what is the folks' love language when whoever you're dating, what's their love language.
Y'all should have seen Johnny behind the scenes. Like all of her characters came out. Like, so hopefully y'all see all of Johnny's characters come out in this episode. You know what I'm saying? So I hope Black History Month comes out of Johnny today. Like all of the history of your blackness coming out.
For those that are just audio only, there are faces being exchanged. Yes, I don't know what he speaks of, except the love of Johnny Malish.
I don't even know what to say.
Listen. I'm gonna go ahead and.
You got to do a sweet face. Eve.
I don't have a sweet face.
Like, there you go.
That's
crazy.
It's horrible. This is where you need to have Cam take off the screen for that foolishness.
No. I'm with the shenanigans. Okay, I'm doing it today. I'm with it. All right. Yeah, I mean, listen. I mean, so you start noticing that you're the token kid in certain scenarios, right? And it doesn't make sense all the time, right? Like, so being one of the kids who was like, smart, you would find yourself in almost diverse groups, but like there would only be like one black kid in that group, or and I noticed that for a long time, like growing up as a kid, like, and I guess you guys probably remember that a little bit, like where like it was, things were a little selective, right? Like who would get to do what, right? And I noticed for a while, like I became almost a token black kid that would get selected for almost everything, because I noticed that I fit a lot of the dynamics to be that, right? Like I blended in well, I spoke well, I had good etiquette, I had proper representation of a family, because I had a mother and a father, and my dad worked for the city, and my mom, like I knew that right there was some of the reasons why choices were made and opportunities were given, because like there was no difference for me than some other kids, except we probably looked better on paper. So I had to get a chance to see the new Captain America movie.
No.
Not yet.
Okay, I don't want to give it away as much as I just want to talk about a narrative that is tied into it, like holistically.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like when you think about the concept of who Captain America is, like he's a blonde, blue-eyed hero, right? Because he was a Brooklyn boy who took a serum, and like all of this fictitious. So like when we think about the concept of it, like for somebody else to take the mantle of something, sometimes that in itself is the significance of representation.
Mm-hmm.
How significant was it that Captain America in that story or that narrative be white versus Captain America be black? Like it was a heavy burden on this character throughout the whole story because of that, right? Like winning people's acceptance of what you represent also shows the narrative struggles of representation. So I say that to say, like, back to me, like I know I'm not a hero. I know I'm none of those things, as much as to some people I am a hero.
Yeah.
Because I've championed things that they've never had the voice to. And I've stood up against people that other people didn't have the courage to. And I've been the voice in the room when other people's voices felt silent. and I've been that listening post for other people to drop their ideas, right? Like those things create a bigger narrative and a bigger ripple in the world that is the significance of representation. Ultimately, by me existing, I represent something, and what I choose to do with it by being positive, providing motivation to other people, being encouraging, being resilient in everything that we go through as well. Yeah. Like that right there is encouraging, and in itself is representation. And that's the reason why I think that all of these historical figures matter.
Well, that was kind of his point.
Oh, God.
That's kind of what he was saying.
I mean,
I promise this is so silly, and yet Johnny is responding just like
no, I just like her. No, I mean that's fine. What should be my reaction? I don't get it. Like,
I mean, I don't know what your reaction should be. I'm just. I mean, I
like her.
Well,
I think you know why is because I'll tell you why I think I responded just like her, because then in that video everyone kind of looked at her for a response, but I mean, if it was meaty and juicy, but it wasn't that great. It wasn't like a conversation to get started. I don't know.
Yeah.
The ugly truth is that was for men. You're not supposed to get that. Like if you do, fantastic. The ugly truth is
I understand it. Right. So then why do men look at women for their response then? Because as soon as that video was over, he said Johnny. So then if it wasn't for me, then why look at me?
So because of the nature of the question that it really asks, like, well, could women ever truly be satisfied if given everything? Like he's laying out this premise of like, listen, like at the end of the day, like Adam and Eve had the perfect setup.
That's right.
And Adam was explaining to Eve how perfect the setup was. And after everything he said, she was like, yeah, I mean, but that's not enough. And we're like, wait, what? We have everything. Anything we could dream of, we could have, and that's not enough. Like, what is wrong with it? Yeah. And then when you cut to the video of the reactions, the woman is literally sitting there going like, yeah, I was waiting for more. And you're like, wait.
Yeah.
Like, why is that not enough? Like, why is the video alone not enough? You need more. The fact is proven. So it's really it's an interesting video to me, because I know, like, depending on who you're around or how, your proximity of people, like, you may get that, like, you may get it, and it may just click to you, and it may not be funny because it's like some dad joke type stuff. Really, it really is some dad joke.
It's not like it was hard to understand. Right. I just didn't understand why the thing was like, to CT's point, it was for men. So then why ask a woman what she thinks? I mean, like, it wasn't for me. It was
because the ugly truth is that men want women to get the point.
Well, we get the point. It's not like it wasn't complicated.
You didn't get the point, Johnny. You didn't get the point. The reason why you didn't get the point is that you didn't laugh with us. We wanted you to laugh with us. You didn't laugh, Johnny. You didn't laugh. She didn't laugh.
He wasn't funny.
I got
he wasn't a funny comedian.
Whatever. It's not about the comedian. It's about the circumstance that is now presented in that particular situation that says
it wasn't complicated. The woman was
never satisfied. That's what he's saying.
That's clear.
Never satisfied.
It's not a complicated point. That was clear.
Not, and yet we talked about this, family. It's okay. Johnny and I are arguing.
We arguing.
We are.
Everybody.
Because you're wrong, Johnny. And so are all the women in this feed right here. Y'all supposed to laugh.
Wrong.
Your mama said not funny. Is put it up, Cam. Put the comments up. This is a biased right. You're in your echo chamber. Right now, you are in echo chambers and you're missing the point that
he was just corny. Like, it was just dumb.
Look
So
at
I
this.
wasn't going to laugh.
Who is
It's not
this
like
Melanie
I'm
Thompson person?
not
Putting out
capable of
comments in this.
understanding.
Hey. Listen, listen. I don't know. I don't know if a woman came out of it, but I think she was just a rib. I don't know, and like I don't even know if she was the big rib. Like she could have been. I'm just playing. I'm just really just being.
I love ribs actually on the grill in the summertime.
Yeah, I do. I do actually like some.
I do like
Oh
ribs.
man, them chicken wings smell so good. Okay, so at the end of the day, like yes, they're the pretty lies about things is that people are going to say things that you may get, you may not get. But the other truth is, like sometimes some jokes or some statements are made for, singular audiences. And CT's kind of right, where we as men in hearing that kind of joke, we laugh at it and do hope that it is something that we could all laugh at together to be like, all right, you understand the truth of that, where that it's a joke. We all know that it stems from a joke, which is why I checked my sources. I didn't just watch the reaction video. I went and found the source video. So I wasn't stuck in the echo chamber of thinking that somebody was telling me. See how I can tie things together too. I can tie my shoe. I can tie my shoe. So what mama no,
Look, why they fighting in the feed? Why is your sis talking about let's go? Like
because you was trying to argue, because you was arguing with me. You was fighting me.
Where's Terry at? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, stop it. Stop
it. It's Terry's truth.
I'm pulling back the chaos that I kind of injected with the game today. But we had a lot of fun watching the video. The reactions were priceless. I think when we chop that back up though, Cam, we're gonna have a lot of fun special feature evidence and footage for the season special. So that was fun. CT, Johnny, you guys got anything that you want to leave us with? I think we're ready to wrap up, going to our final thoughts.
Well, let's make sure. Did we miss any comments, Cam?
Yeah, I mean, long as they're not ones where I think we read all the ones because they called him corny.
So one of the things that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned is about grounding yourself, and that can be done in a whole lot of different ways. There's grounding yourself spiritually, so knowing who you are inside. By Jesus Christ. That's going to ground you, right? But then also physically, and I'm not like, I don't be doing the things to keep my body together. I really don't. I'm just holding on by a thread. But when I go to present, there are some things that I do when I'm going to facilitate in front of a group of people or anything like that. There are certain things that I do in order to get my body grounded, or when I'm going into a room with executives, like I'll go to the bathroom, just be in there, like jumping up and down, because it helps my body to get more settled. And so this is like a theater thing, and you can look up different exercise from, lots of theater companies do stuff like this, but swinging your arms back and forth, and I can't do it because I'm sitting in a chair, but relaxing your arms all the way and swinging them back and forth to pull. Basically, it's pulling the muscles in the arms to relax, jumping up and down, which sounds crazy and looks crazy, but it's actually getting your breath work together so that your body can shake tension and shake stress out before you have to present. When I was with Johnny a couple of weeks ago for the a graduation for a development program that she runs, some of these people were so nervous before they had to get up and do their presentations. And I was like, hey, you just have to the first 60 seconds that you speak is when your nerves are there.
Yeah.
If you can get through 60 seconds, you're done. You're going to coast on the rest of it. So memorize them first 60 seconds, because if you trip up in there, then you're going to be frustrated with yourself. Yeah. If you can get past that, then you're golden. But those are really important to me, just grounding myself physically and then grounding myself spiritually. And then the one practical thing that I'm going to say as a take it or leave it is have a wins file.
It's good.
I've had it for years. And let me tell you, first of all, it's good when you work in corporate America or you work, period. Because then when you have your year-end reviews, you can be like, I did this and this and this and this and this, and it impacted this many people. But a wins file is basically just like a spreadsheet where you say what you have accomplished. Yeah. And that it's another way to ground you, really.
Yeah.
It grounds you mentally because it reminds you of what you've accomplished. You'll think back to, oh my God, that took me 6 months, but this is the outcome of it, and that you have as a check the box.
Yeah.
So those are two good things that I found have helped me.
Very helpful.
Love it.
Thank you. You know, I love some
it.
practical strategies.
Hardcore, like, right? Right.
Sometimes, and then especially, you know, I'm going to call out our community a little bit here too, because
Yes.
oftentimes we think if we have not experienced some, and we've talked about this before, Sylvia, like if we have not experienced some big traumatic trauma experience, then things are fine. Things are okay. But we all know that sometimes it's those little things, it's the little foxes, right? That can cause
Absolutely.
big moments. So what are some of the things that can put us into that state of survival mode? And when do we know, like, okay, maybe it's time to activate it, and other times it's time to turn it off and not stay there?
Right. So it's little things like if you're constantly arguing with somebody or somebody's getting on your nerves at work, that can put you into, wait a minute, I got to protect myself. I'm like, so you don't think that's a big deal, but it really is. It's sending you off into, I have to protect myself. If you can watch a movie that can make you feel like I got to do whatever I have to do to protect my kids. You know what I'm saying? Just a movie. So now I'm over reacting now to make sure that they're okay. My daughter is the queen of that. I said, quit watching movies. I gotta make sure they're okay. And what if this happened? I said, oh my goodness. So it can be things like that. So we have to just be very aware of our environments and who do we let in and how did I process what just that conversation? Or how did I process today? We don't process. We just go. It happens, we go, we deal with it, we get mad, then we go. But then it's building up in our brain, like, okay, that happened and I'm upset about it. But that happened too. And things keep happening and we don't process. We never take time to let me process what just happened. Am I mad about that? Do I have a right to be upset? Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
Let me process even grief. Like,
yeah.
Let me sit in this grief for a minute. And we feel like we got to rush everything. You all right? Get over it. You have to be strong. Black, you know what we do. No, I don't have to be okay right now. Giving us that grace to not be okay. I'm like, Jesus was in the garden sweating blood. So if he had anxiety like that, again, you know what I'm saying? So we have to give ourselves that grace to, I'm not okay today. I need a moment. You made me mad and I need that moment. So that's where we mess up because we just think it wasn't big traumatic. I wasn't raped or I didn't have a fire. I didn't lose everything.
Like, and yes, I'll ride that because in a way, like CT, I want to go back to the thing of celebration, right? When you're in that high feeling, that's okay. When you start finding these little minute celebrations you can do, like fire a bunch of little celebrations off. And then when you in them lows, you're like, all right, let me fire a couple of those celebrations off so I can get myself back up. So I want to make sure that part is clear. Like, it's okay to find ways to get back even when you make it to those places. And sometimes it is those little celebrations of things that are minute, not doing big things. Don't buy a car, like buy a donut. Right. But I
think that's why conversations like this are so important.
Agree.
To your point. So like we can know that line, right? Because you take it too far and it goes the wrong way. But you know, but you have to be self-aware in order to understand, like, okay, I'm in this space right now. I can buy the donut or I can treat myself to dinner as opposed to making some big life-altering decision that I'm going to regret later or whatever it is, right? But I don't know.
I'm pulling the Sylvia. I'm getting married. I swear I'm gonna go through a midlife crisis. I'm gonna be married for all of 5 days. It's gonna be off the chain. We get married in Vegas. It's gonna be a hangover, and y'all gonna be invited. This is gonna be a whole hangover thing.
I called my sister that night. I said, "What have I done?" She said, "Wait, what?"
Oh no! Oh no!
Don't worry, E. We're not gonna let you do that.
Thank you.
I'm gonna jump in on that, E. I'm gonna stop. E, don't do it. Don't do it, E.
The whole EMM family is coming for you. The whole family coming for you.
Yes.
All right, so let's go to
our
next one.
Saying that you were talking about writing and remembering your celebratory moments. Journal. So sometimes when you're writing and so you can go back. So when you're low, let me see what I wrote down about those good days and those positive things that happened in my life. So keeping a journal is good.
Spent a long time like building cultures, right? What are some of the things that you notice? I know CT asked the question about red flag, but talk a little bit about that. Like, what are some of the things that you notice? Like, oh, this needs to be fixed, and here are some ways that we can possibly fix this to help us move to more of a healthier culture. What does that when it's done right? What does it look like? So I guess like start us off with like when it's really bad. What are some things that you're kind of aware of, and then what does it look like when it goes really well?
You know, I think this is the story in the hero's journey where someone sets off in life and they're thinking that one thing is what they should be after. And often that's some sort of extrinsic reward or accolades or title or validation, something coming from the outside. And oftentimes the way that we assess our worth is how we stack up to other people in our culture at large, in the larger culture. Am I better than this person? Am I worse than this person? Do I have more than this person? Do I have less than this person? And we tell ourselves a story about what that means. That's what kind of our culture does. And we're trained from a very young age to compete and to earn spots and to earn certain grades and to be at a certain percentage. And so when you go into a workplace and you have all these individuals who are chasing the wrong things sometimes, thinking it's going to make them feel worthy. But then some people, I think, wake up to that and realize the way I've been living and working and competing in the world, I've done it all the way that they said I should, but why do I still feel worthless or not worthy enough? And then I think that's when a lot of people start to wake up and flip the switch and say, hang on, I got to go inside. I've been doing this outside journey. The journey's in here.
Yeah.
And then once you do that, you realize, oh my gosh, the biggest chance I have for fulfillment and actualization is not to get to the highest job title on the org chart. It's actually to have the greatest impact on the people around me. It's to truly like connect with and be a light for the people around you. And if everybody had that perspective, we would be unstoppable. And I think when you're in teams, I am on a team with like you, Johnny, and some other ladies. And I feel like we're wired in a different way where we get so much from one another at the soul level, and then we give so much to each other. And it's just a beautiful dynamic. And I think that's what we all want. You think about communities and tribes. It's when everybody could count on each other and everybody gave and everyone got from the group and everyone gave to the group and they got satisfaction from the giving. And we can have that on our teams. And when you do, it's amazing what it does. CT.
The lovey-dovey of Johnny, but y'all did say that the mean girls do show up. Like, so
it was a joke.
No joke. It wasn't a joke. It wasn't a joke. Y'all's truth came out. There is a little bit of truth in every little lie. We're not there yet, but anyway. So what does it look like when y'all have your attention? Because I know you have it. Like, how do you all maneuver through it? I know Johnny's not going to answer this question, but Carmen, like for you too.
Yeah. No, it's a really good question. You know, I want to be real about it. And I think where the mean girls show up mostly is when someone's mean to one of us.
That's what it is.
And that's when it's someone was out of line with one of us and then the earrings come out.
Johnny, I was about to say, Carl like she got some Vaseline on her face right now.
She's ready.
Oh, so funny. Okay, so no, like there's times we disagree for sure, and there's times the stakes are high. I always like to remember though, it's easy to be nice when everything's going your way. It's easy to be a good person. Right. It's easy that everything's hunky-dory. Like that's when it's easy. So I try to remind myself when I feel myself getting bothered or I feel myself not at I'm getting upset or I'm getting angry or I'm getting frustrated or I'm getting whatever, it's important for me to recognize that. The quicker I can be aware of it. And CT, you mentioned like we go into different parts of our brain when we're in survival mode. That's we literally go into different parts of the brain, older parts of the rational, logical, collaborative, creative parts shut off and it's fight or flight or freeze. So the best thing is to be aware of when that's happening.
Yes.
You know, can you be aware? How quickly can you be aware of when that's happening? And usually it's not all of us at once. So usually not all of us are stressed out at once. So if you see someone's kind of in trouble or they're having a hard time or they're not themselves, can you recognize that in them?
That's good. That's it right
and
there.
give them like a little bit of grace. Or if it's
There you
you, can you give yourself a little bit of grace?
That's good.
There's been times that I've felt like I had to come back to the team and apologize because I don't ever, when negative things happen, you can create a story around them that make them worse. And then you can all pile on and really get into it and make it feel worse. Or the other way of handling that is you can acknowledge it. You can let people vent, but you don't have to have the worst possible interpretation of the situation and the least powerful interpretation of the situation. What gives us our power back in this moment? How can we see this in the most generous lens? And it usually takes a minute. First year, because your initial response is so automatic, but there's been times I've had to come back and say, I think I contributed. I think I piled on too much about that thing or that issue. And I've said to our team, like, I want to make things better. I want to make things I want to make things lighter. I don't want to add to the darkness.
Yeah.
There's always going to be the dark. There's always going to be the things that go wrong. And when we disagree, I think because we do have a lot of respect on this team, and this hasn't always been the case with other teams I've been on, but when the respect is there, it's questions. It's like a lot of questions asking. You're resistant to that. I can tell you're resistant.
Tell me why.
Why do you feel that way? Because the other flip side that it can go wrong when it's all kumbaya a lot is we're scared of hurting each other's feelings.
There you go.
Right?
There you go.
So we can't be our best if we're afraid to disagree. And I was talking about this earlier when we were at work, and I was telling my other teammate, an example of what I love is when you have that deep respect, if your foundation is wanting the best for the other. I was putting this deck together, this presentation, and my teammate looked it over, and I was asking for her feedback, and she was like, she gave me some specific feedback on this one slide about it needing to be more visual. It was 100%. It was better because she gave me that feedback, but I could tell she was like hesitant to tell me the feedback. Yeah. And I purposely tried to say, it's so much better because you told me that. Like trying to reinforce and make it okay.
Yeah.
When you like each other and you don't want to hurt each other, that's also, it's okay to be like, to disagree and then end up in a new place, like to have two different perspectives and then hear each other and then end up somewhere totally different than either of you. We've had that happen.
Yep.
We've had disagreements. We've given each other feedback. But when we know, it's not because I want to pick at your work and feel superior. It's because I want it to be the best it can be because I want you to look really good in that meeting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Good.
Yeah.
It's the intention behind it. So I hope that answers the question. But
no, it does. It does.
That, the intention behind it. That goes a long way.
You know, our pod got better when Johnny joined it.
Oh, that was nice. But what are you gonna say next?
No,
how did it get better? Tell me what did Johnny bring?
Crazy.
So, I mean, for me, the thing that made it better is less CT. I'm just playing.
I just knew something was coming. I was like, what?
Yes.
Start dealing with the fact that I listen. The reason why I think that this is important is because to help everyone transition into a safe space, a lot of times you got to deal with the fact that you never stop being the child that you were, right? That inner child is the joy a lot of times that we keep inside of us. It's the giggle, it's the laugh, it's the person that laughs at, the farts and the other stupid stuff that people do. It's that thing, that child in you still laughs at the stupid stuff that happens. It laughs at the videos that you see on TikTok and Instagram. That inner child is all of the radiant joy that still resides in you when you try to stuff down responsibility on top of it. It hurts and you struggle and you lash out. And that's when you start acting childish. That's when you start acting petty because you start putting all of this responsibility on this child. And what happens? We act like children. That is what I believe is proof that your inner child is talking to you. Whenever you act childish, whenever you get out of sorts, whenever something triggers in you from when you were little, and as an adult, it is your inner child coming saying like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want the peas. I don't want to do this. I'm not about to make my bed. I'm not about to. That is your inner child a lot of times. And I think that people have disassociated the fact that that's really who they are, right? It's like, I think really the truth is like, we're really always those children, but somebody told us that we had to be adults. So we go out in the world and we're like, I guess I got to be an adult. Let me pay my bills. Let me do this. Oh, I got some extra money. You do something crazy with it. You're like, oh, I feel so much better. That was your inner child making you do that thing. That's exactly what it is to me. All right. In my opinion. Now, I would like to hear you guys' opinion on whether or not you actually believe you're actually operating as your inner child, but just adulting when you need to.
Let's see here. You know what I owe her? I owe her just taking risk. I was so shy as a kid. So there was just so many things that I didn't do because I was just afraid to do it and I was shy and just whatever. At home, clearly I wasn't. My family talks about how much I talk and everything. That's where it all came out, as CT was talking about, that safe space, right? But it's so many things that I didn't do because I was just too nervous or too scared, right? As I begin to get older, I stepped out of it a little bit. But I feel like I still owe her all of those things. So like, do it afraid, right? Even when you're afraid, it makes you nervous. You're like, oh my God, what are people going to say? All those thoughts start turning, just like, do it anyway.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do it
just
anyway.
Yeah. She was so afraid of everything. so nervous.
Was she afraid because you're gonna get in trouble? Is you what was that? What's the context?
I think it was just insecurities. That's a great question. I think it was just my own insecurities. Being overweight as a kid, being the youngest kid, being all of those, all the stories that you tell yourself or whatever happens. And so just was shy and just was really nervous to go out and just try to do some of the things that I wanted to do. Like, for instance, playing sports. I didn't play sports because I almost tried out for volleyball and I chickened out.
Johnny, you were a competitive talker in Toastmasters.
Yeah, as an adult. and I did win a couple competitions.
See, you made up for it.
I know, and I did become a runner for a while, and I ran a couple races, right? So that's what I mean. Just too afraid, and so I had to wait till I became an adult. Like, screw it, I'm just going to do it anyway. Yes. So sometimes when I want to do things, like I think about that.
I think that's interesting. I think
that was a more sneaky one.
Right. Yeah, I can't throw at Mel's because I was my headset was that's good, Erica, but my headset was right where Mel was at. Like gaslighting is not just about lying; it really is a strategic manipulation.
Absolutely, it is.
When we start talking about the relationship that you have with the thing you're being gaslit by, oftentimes, if it's a romantic relationship, if it's a friendship, or it's a societal relationship, whatever we're in relationship with. When the thing that they're telling you, you have empirical data, you have evidence, you have notes, you have receipts that say this is what it is. And then somebody tells you that it's not what you know it to be. You now begin to question you, not them. You may go question them, but then if they say something different, you're lying to me. No, I'm not. You just see it differently, or you hear it differently, or you're experiencing it differently. And now you begin to question everything that you know to be true. I've got a really trivial one. I'm going to talk about not anybody, but there is this instance where I know I left something in the house where I put it. So let's just say, it was those cookies that I hid, that I know I hid those cookies. And then I go back to where I know I left them and they're not there. When I tell you, this is an emotional show for me. When I tell y'all my temperature's like, I know I'm not crazy. I know I left this thing where it was. And then you ask somebody, no, I don't know where it is. Good God Almighty, help me, Jesus. And now you feel like you're losing your mind. I don't know if anybody has ever been there where you feel like you've just lost your mind because the thing that you know you said or you left or you did is different than what the person that you're dealing with is. I'm telling
Yeah,
y'all,
just like the example I just gave.
Yes.
I love that Mel
is a great
said
word.
there's a difference between that and lying because it's the psychological manipulation. Because
Yes.
lying is more, well, lying can be many things, but oftentimes it's like I'm protecting me or I'm trying to whatever. But with gaslighting, it's more about like manipulating you.
Yeah.
Putting things back on you as if it's your issue and your fault and about that power and control that they want to have over the situation.
Yeah.
That's the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not easily gaslit because I'm already lit to begin with. Oh, he came with them bars. I'm just playing. As our guest, Erica, I want to come to you first for your final thoughts on the gaslighting conversation and any final messages you want to leave for our audience.
I think at the end of the day of all of it, you're going to get gaslit. You're not going to get gaslit. It's going to happen. And I think it's how you handle it and how you think about yourself. So I always am one to say you control how you let others make you feel. So are people going to be rude? Yes. Are they going to be terrible to you? Sure. Like that's life. That's the ugly truth. But if you feel yourself getting lit up about something or whatever that someone's saying, it's on you to reflect and think, why am I giving them this power to make me feel this way?
I love it.
That's
Beautiful.
good. I love that.
CT, your final thoughts, sir?
First, I want to say thank you, Erica. It was great having you. I love your perspective.
I love being here. Thank you guys.
I want to leave you with what Coach Chris might say as the 3R approach when you think about being gaslit. Number one, you've got to recognize the pattern. Don't try to rationalize it. When you can recognize what's going on, you have you're positioned best to respond to it. Number two, you need to record your truth. Some people call it journaling, but take note of your voice and then own it. Own your voice. Record what your truth is and own what your voice is in, and then reaffirm your value. You don't need consensus to be correct. In the spirit of my Coach Chris quote moments, it is the gaslight only works when you stop trusting your own flame.
All right. I like that. I am so sorry. I cannot express how hard that must be.
Thank you.
To put yourself in a position that you have to deal with these invisible, you have to face these boxes that are surrounding you. Now, they could be one of the types of invisible barriers that I did describe, and it could be an emotional one too. You could be putting yourself in a cage or a box emotionally, and therefore create problems in said box that may rattle you, and therefore in your screen cam sometimes may also make you invisible because you have rattled your cage.
Right. That's what I was going to say. Like sometimes, which I'm sure we'll get into in this conversation, it's not about invisible barriers. It's about the person bringing the shenanigans upon themselves.
Well, I think the word shenanigans hasn't come up in our show in the last couple of weeks. It's been a little while, but the illustration in my mind is Ron Burgundy in the movie Anchorman when he's in the phone booth and he's agonizing in the phone booth. Can you picture it? I can picture it.
Of course. That's my favorite movie.
That's what I feel like sometimes.
In the glass cage of emotion.
The glass cage of emotion.
Yes.
Thank you, E. Thank you for giving it a name. Yes. E, AOC, Eric, Scotch with E. Thank you for giving it a name. I appreciate you so deeply. I think this is going to be one of our more in-depth conversations. That's what I feel like right now.
You better act right then. You gotta have to act right.
I don't think we have any other options but to just roll with the punches today. One of the punches that we're gonna take is this gut shot to the fact that invisible barriers do exist and we deal with them on a day-to-day. Now, in order for this conversation to have some balance, I would like to make sure that we add an additional voice to the conversation. Now, this is someone that I talk to about a bunch of different things. We have swam all in the same circles. We all have had the opportunity to meet Mr. Michael Adams, who is our special guest. Now, he is not only a motivator, he is someone who identifies talent and is a very talented individual in himself. Not only a lucky husband that we found out that CT likes to throw out, he's also a great mentor and friend to those people that are lucky enough to know him. Cam, can you bring on our special guest, Michael Adams?
The invisible barrier himself, Michael Adams.
Oh boy, that's how we're rolling. Okay, tone setter, pace setter, good stuff.
Let's get it.
Man,
Let's
great
get
to be
it.
here.
Don't
have you.
Yeah. Don't let CT knock down the hustle, sir. We are very excited to have you here. Thank you so much for taking the time to do this recording with us. As we know, anybody that takes time to have a conversation with us about anything is appreciated because you add to the platform. The podcast grows because of those people who add to it. So, Michael, I want to make sure that we get a little bit of time with you, and we're going to do what we always do. We have some rapid fire questions that we like to throw out there. And now today, I think we're going to start off our rapid fire questions. I'm going to skip CT. I'm going to go to Johnny first for rapid fire questions. And Johnny, I'll give it to you.
All right. Well, since I'm the first one to go, I'll keep it really simple for you. I won't go too deep on these. All right. Well, maybe I will. First question.
Nothing is ever free because somebody had to pay for something before it even got to you. So whether or not the level of cost to you was really great, somebody before you had to do something or go through something that cost them something. So in my mind, that everything that you experience and you go through, you have to count what that cost is to you, count what the cost is from those who had to put in so you couldn't have to pay for as much. And like those people who say that something is free, ain't none in life free. None in life is free. Somebody had to pay the price for something. So
yeah, no, I agree with that. Michael, I'll come to you. Perspective on the video. Want to add anything to what CT said?
Love the video and agree. It brings some context to the cost, if you will. I think about things when I think about the word cost. I think about something you get that's more transactional. So I'm going to tweak the word slightly, as I thought about it, is more of an investment because these experiences,
it's good, Mike,
that you go through is an investment in the future you, whether it's helping yourself or helping someone else. I mentioned my son Noah going through NICU. We're in a position now, my wife and I, to counsel a family, friends of ours who have twin girls who are about 4 weeks into that process now. And so while at the moment it felt like a cost that drains emotion and energy and my intelligence, like I was a zombie for 12 weeks. Not zombie, I was very singularly focused on my son.
That's right.
And giving him everything that I had. And so it cost me in that season. But I think about it as the investment of his life, the investment of a perspective now that is manifesting in an opportunity to help another couple go through a similar situation and bring some context to that. They're not alone, and it's okay to step away to go to a baseball game, to like leave the hospital, things that you feel guilty about. And so to me, it's that investment of a life experience that's a setup for how can I then be aware of that experience and how I might leverage it in my life for my own personal growth, or to bring perspective to someone else who might be going through a similar circumstance.
Question for you, because I'm also a music head. So it's a question I ask a lot of music enthusiasts. and being that you're an old school hip hop fan.
All right.
If aliens were to invade and they came to you and would ask you, give us one song that embodies the sound of hip hop, the essence of hip hop, what would that one song be?
Dang. Cam, I'm a processor. Like, I'm going to be spinning on this for weeks.
Yes, that's a true story.
No matter what I say, now I'm going to second guess and triple guess. One song that embodies like the genre.
Wow. You know, Cam, that is a really, really hard question. Cause like in my mind, like I got songs that I'm like, oh yeah, I could pull this, but I'm like to Michael's point where it's like, but I could play this too.
Yeah. I'll tell you what hits me, Cam, and I don't know that it's super creative, but as we've established, that's not my vein always. But when I think about the community coming together in a way for some positivity, when I think about all the artists that came together for self-destruction, and the impact that it was needed at the time, and what that filled from a musical perspective to provide a perspective and a cohesive audience of, or I should say, a cohesive group of artists that are contributing to that genre, and that they felt moved enough to come together to squash beef, to have conversation, to bring some light to things that were happening in communities. And for someone like me, who's white country, like had some context to that, but not kind of the impact, like for me, it caused me to do more research into not just listen to the music, but into the artists and some of the true life, like real life of what's happening. Like some just rapped about things because it sounded good, but many of them, especially that early age, they were living it. They were rapping about circumstances because it's what they knew, and they were able to translate it in a way that a white kid in Portage, Ohio, like connected as much as I can, given my experiences, to what was being experienced in what seemed like a different world.
That's a good answer.
Oh, that was a great answer. God, dog.
Okay.
That's a great answer.
But I've got 5 more answers I'll come back with later.
I know, right. I'm saying, like, this is my answer today. I will randomly send answers to Eric and CT or Cam. Just let me just know.
Do you have an answer, Cam? You have something, Cam?
What would you do, Cam?
I do. For me, it's Pete Rock and CL Smooth. They reminisce over you.
My God.
That would be a good one. Yeah, that'd be a good one. I guess I probably would pick something horrible and get the world obliterated. Me personally, I'd just be like, "Oh, we need to embody music. Hey, play that Uncle Luke song for them. They'll learn something. Like we getting obliterated, but they gonna learn. They gonna be with.
I never once said that the aliens were going to destroy anything.
They would
automatically went to destroy.
I would pick a song that would probably get us destroyed. They'd be like, this music embodies so much craziness.
Okay.
ODB. Ooh, baby, I like it raw. That's what they get.
Wow. That's funny.
That's what they get.
You push my thinking into like, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Baby got
See,
bad.
that's what I'm
Come
saying.
on, aliens, you want to really know? Like,
What do you want to know?
Where is Luke when you need him? Where is Luke?
That's hilarious.
Oh, so good. Oh, so good.
That was good, y'all. That was
good.
Way to finish.
Yeah.
What a perfect way to fit. Well said, CT.
So CT and Johnny, we do have homework. We need to send video clips to Cam for the recap episode.
I sent a folder full of them. I'm not doing nothing.
Oh.
Okay, so you have to select the clips that you.
Oh, right.
want.
Okay, that's right. My bad.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. We know we have folders full of clips. You still have to select them, sir.
Not doing it.
Unless you just want us to take. You know what?
Thank you.
Okay, so yeah, we got
response. Go ahead. What'd you say?
Well, I didn't ask for your opinion. So we do need to try to put together the Father's Day episode. CT, what do we need to do, or do we need to have a strategy meeting?
We should talk about it.
Okay.
Plate is full. I'm just I know.
This is the reason why Father's Day always sucks and Mother's Day is always our fucking selves. Okay, that's crazy. We've been talking about this for 2 years and we can't pull this off.
I know it sucks.
You know what? I got it.
We
Never
know
mind.
whose fault it is.
Yeah, we know whose fault it is.
It's hilarious.
It's all
We're putting fault on this.
Yes. Yeah, we know whose fault it is. It's cool. I ain't worried about it. It's the mattress's fault that Johnny threw away.
Why is there blame here? We're supposed to be in this together. Was there a specific assigned I was supposed to have Father's Day? Did I miss? I was responsible for Father's Day. Did I miss that?
I mean, we were trying to all link up, and that was kind of your job to see if that could become a possibility and a reality. So if you're saying that your plate is full, then it's on you.
Yeah, that's what we talked about. But I mean, if it can't happen, it can't happen. So we just figure something out.
We still got time for Stubbs' house. I just talking about all the rest of it. So if the only thing we're talking about is Stubbs' house, okay. But other than that,
you got to
all the rest of it.
And the rest of it, yeah,
that's cool. And I'll do my part. It's a team. That's not what you were talking about. You said Father's Day. You didn't say the logistics of Father's Day. So let's be clear.
You know what? You're right. You're right. I didn't say any of that. I just
you get a peek behind the curtain.
You know, I didn't say any of that. I'm sorry. You're right. You're right. You know what? I apologize, CT. This is my fault. I should have just asked you directly.
No,
that CT, have you spoken? CT, have you spoken to Stubbs yet about Father's Day? No, you haven't. Okay, that's the only thing. I've shortened it just to the one thing that you were responsible for. I know. I don't have to, but I did for you because you.
Right.
I will document it.
Where's HR right now, Johnny? Aren't you HR?
No, technically I'm not.
No,
is Cam HR? Technically, Cam is HR, isn't he?
We don't have an HR department in our company.
Cam is HR.
No, Cam is.
Michael is HR.
Mike is a guest. He can't be HR on the podcast.
They can just come in and do what they want to do anyway.
Is that okay? Well, then he's HR.
He kind of did his thing. He kind of did. He's part of the show now.
Hey, well, now he is.
Yeah, he did hold it down this episode.
Sure. Apparently, you're officially HR for the podcast. This is how Cam got on too, and Johnny as well. They didn't even know that they were part of the podcast, and then they start showing up every week. It's been 4 seasons later. So.
I know, Michael's.
I think y'all have officially found my replacement. I think y'all found my replacement now.
Who you?
You got Mike now. So if you feel like you just need to get rid of me, then Mike.
Nah, man, it's not about getting rid of anybody.
All right, done and done.
Maybe it is about getting rid of him. And I don't know why.
Wait, hold up. Hey, bring him back. It's the stories you're telling yourself.
You did it.
It was beautiful. Kudos, bro.
That was good.
That was good.
All right.
All right. I will confirm with Stubbs. I do own that. That is me. All right. And we'll figure out what we're gonna talk about.
Okay.
All right. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, I mean, I figured to be fathers.
Right. I don't know.
Oh, we keep skipping father.
No, what are we gonna talk about? Like we do with Mother's Day. Last Mother's Day, we had moms come in, interviewed them. This year, we did something different. So I was just wondering if there was something specific. Because every week we have topics, we have discussions.
But it's Father's Day.
You're having to break it down for them.
So it will be an in-person gathering of fathers to discuss.
That would be the dumbest show ever. Are you kidding? What? Just dads on a call?
See, Cam?
Do you like being a father?
I am a father.
I said, do you like being a father?
That would be the dumbest.
He just spit on Father's Day.
I did.
That would be the dumbest
Johnny knows
episode
better.
ever.
Johnny knows.
That was
Oh
great.
my!
No, I'll definitely. You already know. I'll definitely help craft some questions for us.
Apparently we ain't doing nothing.
Gonna get her and
Just
drink
throw it
bourbon
up.
and smoke cigars. What you doing?
That was your idea
what
when we
we doing?
first pitched doing Father's Day.
What are we gonna talk about
What's
while
the
we there?
conversation?
We're
I
gonna
know what you're
we're gonna
saying.
talk about
I'm with you, CT.
we're gonna
Thank
talk
you,
about
Johnny.
the fundamentals of fatherhood.
That's
You want to talk about moms? You want to talk about?
no. We don't want to talk about moms.
So what do you want to talk about?
I'll
Whatever
help
it is you
craft
want
some
to talk
questions,
about.
CT.
I just told you what I want to talk about. Why did you just get past what I said?
Michael's like, can I just go?
No, he's eating all
You
of
know
this
what?
stuff. He's going to use all of
You
this
know what?
information. Mike is
This-
using all
this-
of this information.
It's time, CT.
It is.
CT,
Yes.
we're doing Father's Day.
I want to do Father's
I just need you. I need you to secure your location. Because we're all fathers here. And we done. Okay. We are doers.
Right. We are. We
So
are.
I'm done? No. Not done.
Didn't we? Isn't that why you banged your phone?
I'm about to bang my microphone. That's why I'm holding it now. Because
CT,
Don't do that.
I
You need
understand
that.
what you were asking,
You need that
CT.
microphone.
serious.
I'm with you, CT. I understand what you were asking.
Thank you, Johnny.
Do you?
Yeah.
Just keep in mind that you agreed that you knew what he was asking.
Yeah, he just wanted to know where is the conversation going. You can't just put a whole bunch of fathers in the room and say, all right. It's Father's
Actually,
Day.
you can. Like,
Not for a podcast, you can. If you want people to watch.
yeah, you can.
If you want people to watch, you can. Now, if
You know
just
what?
wanna
You
do
know
it,
what, Johnny?
sure.
You know what, Johnny? Then don't bring no fathers that you know that are boring. Okay, then that's what I'm saying. If that's what you're
Ain't about
saying,
being boring. Don't nobody want to hear the folks just rambling. You want some good conversation. Ain't that right, CT?
Ain't that right?
Now,
Kim,
back to your
Kim,
debate.
Kim, I want you to notice how we treating Father's Day conversation. We ain't never had this problem on any freaking episode that we've had on the podcast. Now we're worried about the content on Father's.
What are you talking about? It's not even a problem.
about?
You're making up issues.
do content for every show.
Information every week.
Cam, you know what I'm talking about, don't
You're
you?
just making up stuff, E.
You're wrong now, E.
Cam?
Yeah, you're wrong, E.
I'm talking to Cam, who keeps the receipts. Cam, am I
What's
wrong?
wrong? Every week we send content.
Cam, why have we ever scrutinized an episode like we are doing this
Who's
one?
scrutinizing? You're the
Y'all
one
are.
making a big deal.
I'm not making a big deal. I said we will come up with something, but that's not good enough. We're still rounding about coming up with something. All he got to do is lock in the location. Y'all said you don't want a bunch of fathers in one room and not have nothing to talk about. Okay, well, we said we was gonna come up with something to talk about. I mean, that's what we said.
Eric. What's really wrong, Eric?
What's really wrong?
Let's get to the root of the issue.
There's an invisible barrier here right now.
Yeah, what's the real issue?
Cam, this is the very best video you could get from us. I promise the last whatever since the show was over with, the best behind the scenes video.
That's
I'm
why
telling
Cam's
you
sitting over
what.
there quiet.
Cam is quiet because he knows he's gonna use all of this. This is beautiful.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Yes, you do.
I'm trying to figure out Father's Day and why it's a problem.
So,
I'm with
Cam,
Literally not a problem.
I'm only gonna ask Cam this question
Why only Cam? Ask Mike.
because Mike wouldn't know. Cam, have we ever had this much dialogue about one episode?
No, never.
Ever. Why is it Father's Day? Mother's Day is not this hard.
Well, E, stop talking about it. You don't want to keep talking about it, E.
Now it's me.
CT just asked the question. Like, what where are we going with it? What's the topic? Like, what are we?
I told you where we're going with it, to Stubbs' house, and we're going off the rails.
He's the one making it a big deal.
I just said where we're going. I'm answering the question.
Good.
Do you have your answers now?
Because of you.